Okay, this is a Clover group. You can start now.
Hello everyone, we are Clover.
Okay, I'm sure everyone here has bought something from a store, and whatever things you buy, big or small, it could be your phone, your clothes, your food, or even this cup of coffee. After making a payment, you get a paper receipt like this, and sometime later you would throw it away in a bin. You don't really care what is on the paper, but actually one receipt could really tell how one company operates. Well, believe it or not, let's take a look at the receipt I have from the coffee shop called Euro. In the picture, I can see the date of the coffee is bought, a customer's name, a level of memberships, the name of the products, the price I have and the price, and even the method used to pay the coffee. Let's look into what we know more from the receipt. We see the POS on the top, so we know they have a POS system. There are names, tiers, and points, which mean they must have a membership program. They could do promotions and reward to the membership program as well. If they have the customer information, they could also do a direct marketing. If there is a name of the coffee and the quality, which means they could be able to collect the information of themselves. There is a type of the payment, which means there must be many payment methods available for the customers to use. Also, they need to have financial management behind that.
So after seeing the receipt, it leads to knowing some pieces of their ecosystem and even more search for their whole ecosystem. And we have categorized business units and described them into 4 aspects, which are good for service, money and credits, information, and intangible values. For goods and service, at the very start, the raw materials provider will prepare all the other materials such as coffee beans, milk, or sugar. After that, the raw materials will be picked up by the transportation company in order to transport those items to the Golden Cream Company, which is the head office. The ingredients will then be transported to each store and branches. In terms of money and credits, the money flows mainly in and out of Golden Cream Company. The money will be transferred to the transportation company in order to transport the raw materials from the provider. In addition, Dioro needs to pay for the service fee to the delivery company. On the other hand, Dioro gets money from customer when purchasing goods or products, both from the shop and through the delivery service. However, the customer may purchase drinks and bakeries from the competitor shop. In terms of information, when customer register and purchase products, Dioro will collect this information which will be later sent to Golden Cream Company. The information will also be sent to the advertisement company in order to craft the new advertisement that answer the needs of customer. Also, all the information will be sent to the IT system company for further usage. For intangible values, brand loyalty may develop through the service and product that the customer continue to purchase from Dioro.
Next, let's scope our perspective down to the DRO system diagram. This system diagram is a combination between the data flow diagram in the green part and the network diagram in the gray part for understanding of both engineer and non-engineer people. This diagram shows the data among 4 major sectors, which are the central head office, suppliers, warehouse, and branches, which is a big picture of how the company runs between the head office and other nodes, such as the shops that are responsible for sending the transaction information to the central head office. And the network diagram that shows the communication via network contains 3 main parts, which are the warehouse, central head office, and branches. Also on the left, as you can see, there are 3 main suppliers, which are VPP company for the coffee, Kara company for bakery, and raw material providers such as cup and napkin. And all the information we've mentioned so far lets us know more about the DRO and even see the possible leakage or faults that could happen within the organization. And the case that we would like to introduce here is this linkage.
Now, that linkage is the possible issue that we came up with. From the ecosystem and the system diagram, you can see there's a lot of information flowing from one place to another. Either the information from the receipt or their data from the company. And along the loop, they collect all this information because they're useful. It can help improve their business. But this seems to be quite an amount of data they collected. So how do they store this information and how do they analyze it though? Because it will be useless, right, if we have the information in the wrong place or even with the wrong inputs. We did some more research and found out that the shop manager will be the one who collects the data manually. He or she may put all the data together, then writing or keying it down, and then sending the data or report it to the head office. But this is done by the action of a human. What if they make mistake? What if they key wrong information? Would that have an effect on the customer or even the shop itself? Imagine overkeying the number down with an extra zero from 10 to 100. It would be a waste. Or imagine typing wrong information of how a customer makes a payment. Then we would later have to reconcile the service fee with the payment company. Or imagine keying the wrong information about a customer, let's say his birthday, and sending him a birthday information on the wrong date. It would affect his experience with a coffee shop for sure.
So how can DRO prevent this from happening, or how can DRO improve their service? Can we turn everything online, or can we do the digital transformation? Enterprise resource planning is one of the tools or technology that many companies use to transform their business into the digital world. For example, Starbucks. Before using ERP, Starbucks discovered that their annual cost for their supply chain was growing, and over the same period, annual sales at stores that were open for at least 1 year dropped by 10%. Starbucks spent $600 million annually on coffee and $2.5 billion annually on dairy and paper goods. The ERP system is able to manage the purchasing of goods from the many coffee plants that they are involved with throughout the world. The system also eliminates the need for paper, form and emailing. All orders can go through the system and are automatically updated when the purchases were acquired, billed, and paid for. As the result, Starbucks recognized 500 million savings in the 2 years after the implementation of the new system. So, from our point of view, ERP modules that will suit with DRO system are supply chain management, financial management, customer relationship management, and human resource management. With the supply chain management, we can track each step in the movement of supply and goods throughout the supply chain, from supplier to CARA and VPP to DRO shop and consumer. This module provides a real-time data so that the manager can be able to make decisions based on the most up-to-date information. It can manage any material or product return for refund or replacement and can also reduce overhead costs of the DRO companies.
Moving on to financial management software, it helps a business to keep track of its overall finances. As there are multiple payment methods for customer at DRO, including Rapid Line Pay and QR code payment, it is important that DRO have the record of all the transactions, especially when they have to manage service fee with other companies. They have to ensure that the number of payments using Rapid Line Pay from DRO data is the same with the data in the line company. For the next one, which is the Customer Relationship Management or CRM. CRM software can help organize the way that the companies interact with customers, leading to satisfied customers. As we mentioned earlier, the DRO have the membership and point reward system for their customer. It would be more efficient if DRO have the records of each member, especially their birthday and favorite drinks. With the use of customer behavior, DRO can come up with a promotion that suits well with their customers. Moving on to the last one, which is the Human Resources Management or HRM. It is meant for proper utilization of available skilled workforce and also to make efficient use of existing human resources in the organization. DRO can keep the record of their general information employee, for example, position and contact information, and to ensure that their employee have all the skills needed for the coffee shop, for example, service and drinks preparation.
As a solution that we introduced earlier is using the ERP package for the enterprise. It can be summarized that by applying the ERP package, we can first enhance the business report with better real-time information and a single integrated database for all business process. We can have better customer services as they have better access to customer information and faster response time. We can improve the inventory cost as if the company is well planned, then we could reduce the overhead costs. we can have better supply chain management as we could have effective demand forecasting and lean inventory. Finally, we can have better data security as we could reduce the data distribution across multiple servers.
SAP and Oracle are the top two ERP vendors in ERP market share. However, the licensed ERP is very expensive. Small companies like Deoro may not be able to afford it. Fortunately, we have open source ERP where companies can implement the system at a cheap price and have similar modules to licensed ERP. To find a suitable open source package, we come up with a list of criteria for evaluation. The first one is how easy the package can be implemented, then its price, the vendor support such as customer support team and other manuals or documents provided. Next, it's the reliability of the software. The software also has to be user-friendly or easy to be used. It is better for the software to be customizable so users can customize it based on their usage. And also the integration. Is it allowed to be integrated with other software or other levels? And at what level is it open up to? Lastly, functions available in the software must cover users' usages. There are 4 candidates here: Odoo, ERP-Next, Xtubo, and Dolibar. These are well-known packages that many businesses are using. After evaluating the packages with the criteria mentioned earlier, ERP-Next is the one we think is best to be used. So now we'll try to implement the ERP-Next open source package and do some setup.
And after pulling it and go to localhost, log in with administrator username and admin password. And this login process would be the same as the one we did on the free trial on website. And we just need to do some setting here. After reaching the dashboard page, we could explore what ERP-Next has for us. And we can add and keep track of employee information in the human resource module. And we could also do the same thing with the customer in the CRM module. Next, for the financial management, we could also create and see the sales and purchases and some others financial stuff. We could also see the stocks and raw materials and what we have bought for the SCM. Finally, we could create any project based on the company needs. For the insult.
Now, the lesson learned from this project and this course in Clover Group point of view, we would say that it is important to re-engineer the existing system first before we start doing the real implementation, which we all kind of did that during the course through each report, which are understanding the Deoro, data discovering from the receive, explore the ecosystem, understanding by creating system diagram, creating the use case diagram, creating ER diagram, and selecting the ERP open source package. To conclude our work here again, because the process of re-engineering provides a realistic understanding of Deoro and help us to lead Deoro to go for a successful ERP implementation by cutting extra costs and pacing their process at the same time. That's why we have to re-engineer as our project name, receipt-based reverse engineering. Thank you.